Forged from Iron is proud to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham United fans and friends inspired by the work of other football fan food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations from Newham Food Bank in Beckton, who supply 7 distribution centres in the borough, 7 days a week, and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. They are supported in their efforts by West Ham United Football Club, the WHU Foundation, LS185, London Legacy Development Corporation, Newham Council, the Met Police, Spire London East Hospital, Expedient Security, and a large number of West Ham and football fans. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thank you for your support. Come on, you Irons. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Forged from Iron, and please don't forget to like, comment on and share the stream to your social media platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and make sure you hit that bell icon for alerts on new content. As always, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much indeed for your support in this particular matter. We are here to discuss goings-on in Larnaca in Cyprus against AEK Larnaca in the UEFA Conference League. Duke, yeah, how to approach this one, mate?
Spank him and be done with it.
You like a good spanking, I know.
Yeah, well, it's better when you don't have to pay for it. No, just go out there, get the job done. First leg, not blow them away. I mean, I don't mean to be rude. I've heard this competition be referred to as a pub tournament. I've heard this tournament be compared no better than the Inter2 Bob Cup that we once played in and won. I've heard lots over the last 24, 48 hours, Rob. Simon Jordan was the one that compared it to a pub team, and he can go fuck himself because, as far as I'm concerned, Palace won nothing. No, go there, knock it out of the park, get it done and dusted. Let's get it over and done with tomorrow night. 4, 5, 6, I couldn't care less. It just go out there, strong team as far as I'm concerned. Strong team, get it done. I mean, listen, winning breeds confidence, Rob.
Yes,
it breeds a winning mentality. You got to start somewhere. I thought it started 2 weeks ago against Forest. Clearly, I was wrong. Let's go win this. Fuck it. Let's go win this tournament. I don't care now. I relegated. I know people are going to go, "Oh, Duke, you can't say that." You know what? You can only do what's in front of you at the time. And right now, we're talking about the Conference League. Give me the Conference League. I want to win it. I want to see us win a trophy at the end of the season.
Okay, fair dues. Before we go too much further, there is. I want to slightly go off script, if I may, Duke. If you will indulge me. Obviously, people will know that I took a little bit of a break from the channel, and I came back with an episode of Talk West Ham on Saturday. Now, I just want to clarify something, because I have had a few questions and sort of things that I've had to sort of like try and bat away. I took a break from Forge for my own reasons and my own reasons only. I didn't have a fallout with Duke. Duke didn't have a fallout with me. In actual fact, quite the contrary. I've had a little bit of stuff going on in my personal life as things happen, and I needed to take a step away. Duke fully understood it. Duke fully supported it. And Duke fully supported me coming back into Forge. So just if there is anybody out there that's having little whispers and wondering, was it a fallout? Was it this? Was it that? Nothing of the sort. Duke's been very, very supportive. I can't thank Duke enough, if I'm being completely honest, for some of the stuff that he's come sort of up to the. No. You have. So I'd just like to say, for anybody that's thinking that we've had a little bit of a fallout, no, not at all. If anything, I think that probably the friendship that we've got has got a little bit closer for me. Because obviously, I'd say I'm just being really honest here, Duke. You've helped me with certain situation that was sort of bubbling away in the background, and I can only sort of say thank you. So there you go. So anybody out there that's thinking that there's been a fallout,
take Amazon gift cards as well.
you also take other sort of.
Whoa! Keep it famous. Early morning.
Yeah, it's not past. Well, it's past 9 a.m. But there you go. Anyway, that's that bit out of the way. That's the soppy shit that sort of like I've dealt with. I wanted to sort of get that out of the way because, like I say, I've had a few questions, Duke, and I'm like, no,
that's all right. It's fair enough.
These are the officials. The guys that are on the pitch, don't ask me to pronounce them for fuck's sake. They're all Norwegian. The guys that are in the UEFA equivalent of Stockley Park, they're from the Netherlands, and they'll probably fuck something up at some point. So there you go. But yeah, we'll get into, if you guys want to put in your starting 11s, your formations, and all the rest of it in the live chat. We're gonna sort of like go through a few little bits and pieces now. I think it's fair to say that not many people probably know AEK Larnaca or probably had any clue about AEK Larnaca. Sorry?
Ayia Napa away.
Ayia Napa away. Yeah, it could well be. Well, I've done a little bit of a research and various bits and pieces. That's really strange. Hang on. Where is it? Ah, right. Okay. I had a little piece for a minute. I had kittens there, Duke. I thought I'd deleted it by mistake.
Did you just admit to the 14 people watching and the millions that will watch afterwards that you have a little piece?
A little piece. Yeah, but listen, it's filled a pram a couple of times, so So little piece for you guys and girls. This is a little piece. Just gives you a few little bullet points on who Larnaca are, what they've done, where they come from, and who I believe the player is from the Larnaca team, if he's selected, that we need to watch. And Duke has obviously put 2 players from West Ham, not 1, but 2. Bonus, who he believes need to be on top form for us to have a good opportunity of getting the result tomorrow. So roll VT, Duke. Press that red button. So there you go. Right, so Duke, get into it. You've selected your 2 key players.
I have.
Why? Why do you think Scamacca and Cornet could be key to this?
Well, this could be Cornet's first return since the the unicorn. Thank you. Yeah, this is the mythical unicorn bullshit. The injury that he had. And for me, Skamaka has a massive point to prove. I don't think he's going to play Ings. I think Antonio's toys have gone very much pram, and all the rest of it. So I really think Skamaka coming in tomorrow makes a massive. Why are you getting all of these comments from? I've literally got usual
Huh?
suspects, Andy, Becca, and
I'm
Mark. That's it.
I'm
That's all I've
keeping
got, mate.
Kent and Andy's. I've starred them because we'll get into their
Yeah, no, I'm
teams.
not even getting any. Oh, there they all are.
You know.
There's a refresh.
No, I just thought it was necessary,
I'm
Kent,
gonna
just to
I'm
get
gonna
it
do
out
that
there.
one. There you go. I've started another one, mate.
Cool.
Yeah. I just think that Skamaka's going to come in. He's going to have a point to prove. I really do think that. I mean, I've seen a lot of comments about Skamaka and Cornet's goals assists kind of ratio.
Hmm.
And people banging on, oh, it's only Conference League that they've done that in. It's it really skews the facts. Well, it doesn't. There's still games. There's still goals. There's still assists. Doesn't matter who it's against. At the end of the day, I could play in League Two all of my career and bang in 600 goals over the course of 500 games. Is that still a good record? Well, yes, it is. I don't, regardless, it's still a good bloody record, regardless of where you play or who you play against.
Hmm.
Oh, well, Harry Kane would have 6,000 goals in that time. I don't care. He ain't playing at that level. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter to me where their goals and their assists are coming from. Just go out there and do it again. And as for Cornet, I think that Cornet is he again another point to prove. Not to Moyes, I don't think, but to us fans. I mean, I don't know why, but your video of Cornet missing in action, MIA, came up on my YouTube yesterday morning.
Okay.
I think it was
Ironic.
like this is why his name came up. Is because I think it's fate.
Hmm.
More because he's got a point to prove to us fans, Rob. I think.
Hmm.
Because he's been out for so long, there's certain fans that have been questioning what the hell's going on. Why didn't we pick this up in a in the medical? Why wasn't this noted? How has this gone missed? Is it has he is I heard a comment the other day that, and again, this is a comment that I heard, not an accusation I'm making directly. So I'd like to say, allegedly at the start of this, and I will place allegedly in many places throughout this comment. He wasn't in the team because of an alleged either substance or betting gambling problem.
Oh, okay.
Now, again, it's alleged. I
Rumor
don't
has
know.
it.
I don't know where it come from. It was literally online for all of about 18 minutes. God bless that young man. God
Yeah.
bless that young man. It was online for all of about 18 minutes before the tweet was deleted. It was on Twitter. Gambling, like gambling and substance abuse. Now, whether that's true, I mean,
Both,
listen,
not one or the other. Then.
gambling or sorry.
Okay.
In this day and age, it's very difficult to keep things quiet. It's very difficult to hide those things. I mean, I'm not being funny. Have a look at Ivan Tony. That's all come out now, and
Hmm.
probably still more to do so. So the fact that if he has had a gambling and or substance abuse problem, we would have heard about it. I don't think there's any two ways about it. I mean, this would have come out. Someone would have heard something somewhere, and we would have heard. There you go, Andy. Andy saw it as well. So whether or not it's the truth or whatever the case may be, he was back for the under 21s, I believe, last Friday.
Played the first half, didn't he?
I believe so. He's been back training with the first team for a while. So whether or not he starts tomorrow, Rob, whether or not he's even in the squad tomorrow, but I think he's got a big point to prove. And I think a lot of that comes down to the fact of his judgment on it of how the fans see him. I don't see it personally. If it was a substance and or gambling problem, I'd rather the club have just come out and gone, look, we're in support of Maxwell at this time. This is the case, rada, and the fans would have gone, okay, well, he's human at the end of the day, you know. Okay, the opposing fans probably wouldn't have done, let's be honest, in the same way of the whole Zuma cat thing, in the same way as Manchester United fans with the Rio Ferdinand missed drugs test. All the opposing fans went, no, ban him, he shouldn't be playing again. Oh my God, it's disgusting. That's what opposition fans did, whereas Man U fans were like, yeah, all right, he's missed it. All right, well, just move on. Fine him, ban him, whatever. So, yeah, I think if it was the case, then I would have preferred the club to come out. If it is the case, then Maxwell has my full support. If it's not the case and it is just bollocks, then let's move on. But I see him and Skamaka being key to whatever we do going forward at this point, because we really need players like them in our starting 11.
Fair enough. Well, the reason I chose the player that I did, and just to refresh anybody's memory or someone that's come in latterly, the player that I've selected is a key player for Aek Larnaca, and the guy that essentially we need to make sure we shut them down. He's their captain. His name is Ivan Trikovsky. Now, he's a North Macedonian international, or at least he was. I believe he retired a year or two ago from international duty. Now, he's 35 years of age, so he's a little bit long in the tooth, but don't let that fool you. This is a very technically gifted operator. Now, his record is he plays about as a second striker, so he's sort of like in that number 10 sort of role, not an out and out striker, but sort of like just off the main striker. And you know, North Macedonian, former Yugoslavia, that was always a hotbed of very technically gifted players, and this guy's no different. His goal record's around about one every 2.5 games. Yes, I appreciate that for a lot of his career, he's been playing in what you would consider to be inferior leagues. I mean, he's been a player at AEK Larnaca since the 2015-16 season. He's also had spells in the UAE. He's had a spell with Legia Warsaw. He's had spells in Belgium, and he's obviously played in Serbia as well. So, you know, a lot of the leagues he's played in have been pretty inferior. But be that as it may, as you said earlier, you can only score against who you're put in front of, and this guy is decent enough. Look, let's be real. Whatever they should have, and whatever team we put out, by and large, we should have enough to deal with them over 2 legs. Whether we get a win tomorrow remains to be seen. I'm not for 1 minute suggesting that it's a bye, it's a walkover. We're going to have to be on our game. But I think that, like I say, if we're going to try and maximise our chances, Ivan Trikovsky, if he plays, is the guy that we're probably going to need to keep an eye on, Duke.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I saw your stuff. I've refused to. And by the way, I was one that just wrote that comment to Usual Suspect. I've literally got it here on my phone, and oh my god, I'll leave that there. Disgusting human being, horrible individual. If
I've
that was
just seen
anyone
that.
else, that's what I've just watched. If anyone wants to watch it, watch it. But if that was anyone else, we would be doing time. From what I've just read as well, it's not just off of the video that I've just watched. It's other comments that I've seen.
Has passed me by totally.
Yeah, no, I've missed that one. Now back to your player again, Rob. There's a limit of where I can go with the danger men from a side that are essentially League Two. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But they are the essential League One, League Two club. We should be coming through these. So no, he don't. Well, you wouldn't end up with a Cocaine Bear film that we've got now if they'd been dumped over the southeast. Let's put it that
Libby
way.
went and saw that last Saturday, Duke.
What did she? What did she think?
She reckons it's hilarious.
Yeah, I might have to give it a go. Grace keeps banging on about watching it as well. I mean, listen, yeah, key player, 35-year-old Moldovan. Is that what?
He's
Yeah.
North Macedonian
Oh, North
international.
Macedonian. To be honest with you, mate, I reckon you and me at our age could have him in our back pocket. I don't mean to be rude for a Premier League centre back. I don't care who you play. What do you pick? A German World Cup winner, was he, Kara? I'm not sure he was in the World Cup
I don't
team.
think he was.
No,
No,
but
no.
he's a German international.
Played in the Champions League
Um,
final.
yeah, Champions League final, PSG, German international. You've got Italian international in Ogbonna. These sort of players. You've got World Cup winner in Zuma. I mean, behave. There should be a walk in the park for these fellas. Rob, I've got to jump off 2 seconds. You carry on. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, mate, no problem. Right, so what I'll do, let me just get rid of, sorry, bear with me, people. Bear with me. Right, I got a little piece I've put together. Let me find it. Right, I'm going to go through my 11, and Duke will go through his 11 when he returns, and then obviously we'll get, as I say, any of you guys watching this live, get your 11s, your formations in the live chat. I will star them and we'll go through them together. So this is my 11. Right, now, the observant ones amongst you will notice that I would advocate giving a debut between the sticks to Christian Hegyi. Now, the reason for that, I think probably most of you can probably read where I'm coming from, that Lucas Fabianski is not going to play clearly. Alphonse Areola is now, I believe, our number one goalkeeper. So would I play him in this game and risk him getting any sort of injury? And, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. Who knows? He takes a goal kick, pulls a hamstring, he's out for 6 weeks. Well, I don't think that really is a risk that we can take. Now, I think that what this shows up is that the sale of Darren Randolph is now shown to be a pretty bad move. This would have been an ideal opportunity for Randolph to come in this exact circumstance. And Randolph's a very capable goalkeeper. Now we're put into this position where we're probably going to have to play a kid who has absolutely 0 minutes in the first team. But I think that putting him in is preferable to putting in a guy who, if he gets injured, Hegyi then becomes our Premier League starting goalkeeper. It's quite ridiculous. So he has to play tomorrow for me. Now, I would advocate playing a 4-diamond-2 formation with Cresswell at left back with the armband. Yes, I know he's slow, he's old, but his delivery is still on point. And I think that there's a certain player that's a little bit further ahead of him that could be a little bit of a shield for him to be able to sort of get forwards and possibly cover him when he goes. At right back, I would put in Tilo Kehrer. I think his pace up and down that right flank could be really beneficial. And yes, we know that he's deficiencies at defence, but I think, let's be honest with you, if he can't handle whoever's coming down their left flank, then really he shouldn't have a claret and blue shirt on. I mean, this is, like I say, I don't mean to be disrespectful to Aek Larnaca, but let's be completely honest, he should be able to deal with whatever's coming down their left flank. And if he doesn't, then he probably doesn't deserve to be in our first team squad. Ogbonna I would retain as the left-sided centre-back, and I would bring Kurt Zuma in alongside him. Kurt Zuma needs minutes. He needs minutes in the first team because I think he needs to be alongside Aguirre as the centre-backs going forward. So he needs minutes in the first team, and this is an ideal opportunity without really putting him under the pump. This is an opportunity to get his fitness levels up. So I'd have him alongside Ogbonna. Now, moving into midfield, as I say, I'd play a diamond, and at the base of that particular diamond, I would have Flynn Downs. I absolutely think this kid is a really good, really, really good player. And I think that his lack of minutes, I can't work it out. I don't understand Was he a David Moyes signing? Is he someone that David Moyes actually signed off on? Is he a David Sullivan signing? I don't know. What is plain to see is that the minutes that Flynn Downs has got in the first team so far this season have been very, very sparse, and I can't work out why. And even some of the minutes he has got in the first team have been in positions that are not accustomed to him. I was at Old Trafford when he played as the number 10. Quite ridiculous. Anyway, but I think his presence there as the midfield fulcrum will, as I say, allow Aaron Cresswell to get forwards, and Downs can provide the cover very, very well. Now, moving into the two central midfielders, Manuel Lanzini, I'd have him in all day long for this match. It was a close run thing between him and Fornals, but I think that Manuel Lanzini needs to be given an opportunity to show what he can do. Again, give him some minutes in the first team. This is the team that he should be able to put a good fist against and give a good account of himself. So I'd have him in there for his craft, his guile, his invention, something different from what we've had recently, which has been very boring, if I'm being completely honest with you. Alongside him, I would have Thomas Souček, and I would give Thomas Souček the license to move forward. I would tell him, I don't want you in a holding role. That's why I've got Flynn Downs in. You get forwards, corners, set pieces. I want you causing absolute bedlam in and around their final third. That's your job. You're not there to pass the ball. That's why Manuel Lanzini's there. You're not there to act as a shield. That's why Flynn Downs is there. You're there to make those late runs from midfield, get into the box and get your head on something, make a little bit of a nuisance of yourself. I would then, at the apex of that diamond, have Maxwell Cornet. Yes, I know he's a winger, but I would have him just in that little hole between the two, behind the two centre forwards, buzzing around. If you want to go left, if you want to go right, the field opens up to you, Maxwell. But this guy needs some minutes in the first team. Get him in there, get him buzzing around. Hopefully he can get a goal. Hopefully he can get an assist. Get his confidence up, both in terms of his fitness levels and in terms of him embedding himself as a first-team member. And then, yes, ladies and gentlemen, whether David Moyes will, but I would play two strikers. Who'd have thought it? Two strikers. Gianluca Scamacca alongside Divine Mubama. I think these two could absolutely rip them a new one. I do. I really do. I think if we can provide them with ample service, and I think that comes with Manuel Lanzini and Maxwell Cornet in the midfield area, Aaron Cresswell getting down the left-hand side. I think that if we can provide those two with ample service, unlike what Danny Ings, poor sod, got against Brighton, I think this team could really put this tie to bed in the first leg. Duke, on the other hand, who has now returned, talk us through yours.
Well, as I said earlier, I see some comments in the chat based on yours, so they're probably going to have a heart attack when they see mine. I've literally gone for a relatively, well, I'd say a strong side. I've gone very close to being all in. Zuma needs game time, and I think this is a good way to go get it. I don't want to drop McGaird. I think he's very much a confidence player, and after the debacle against United, where people were blaming him for certain goals, the debacle that was the Brighton game. Let's be honest, that's on Johnson, but I've still got him in now. I've dropped Rice, and I'll tell you why I've dropped Rice. I am pissed off with the young man. I'm pissed off with him. I'm pissed off with his dad. I'm seeing news articles today from certain outlets that his dad's hawking him around again. Not the comment I got off of him. Asked his dad if he wanted him to stay, and he said, I'd love him to stay. And now we see that he's out hawking him off to as many clubs as he can fucking do. So as far as I'm concerned right now, piss off. I'm pissed off with the lad. He's not come out and refuted any of these claims. The Arsenal stuff and all the rest of it. He made the comment that, rightly or wrongly, I've believed to be a dig at fans. So as far as I'm concerned, he needs bringing down a peg or two, Robert. So no, doesn't play. Not that he probably gives two shits that he's playing or not. I think Paqueta's coming into his own. I've really enjoyed actually seeing him and Benny develop a good understanding. It's as I talk, I realise that I don't have Benny in my team. Or
we can edit this bit out. Don't worry, they'll never know.
Yeah, no, they'll never know. And then I'm seeing some names that I actually forgot played for West Ham, like Lanzini. And then Ollie Scholes I've seen in a couple
He's
of
injured, I believe.
Is he injured? That's a shame because
Yeah.
I think he's banging. But mate, as I said at the top of the show, get it over and done with in Larnaca. If you come back and you put the under-21s out, or you put out a significant number of under-21s, if you go out there and beat this lot 6-0 over there tomorrow night, then it's job done. You ain't got to worry about the second leg. Whereas if we go out there, play the kids and lose 1-0, it's not an uphill battle, but there's more to do. So for me, strong side tomorrow. My two keys, as I've already discussed, not two keys, that's the bear. The two key players, shall I say, are Cornet and Scamacca.
My 11, I had between the sticks, I had Hegyi because I believe that
Saw that
the risk to Areola of him in a game that, let's be honest, we should win this, shouldn't we? Whatever team we put in front of him. If he takes a goal kick, for example, and then pulls his hamstring, we're then in a position where Hegyi becomes our number one in Premier League action. Now, that's why I put Hegyi in this game, because it's like, well, I don't really want to risk Areola, and I think that it's an ideal opportunity, and we all bang on as fans.
Mate, I hate to break it to you, but he could do that against Villa on Sunday. It doesn't matter what
he could.
What if? I mean, at the end of the day, I see where you're coming from, and I fully understand your understanding on it. I get that. Sorry, I was leaning into my microphone. I get it. But for me, and again, I don't mean to belittle your opinion. I just want to say, actually, cover what Claret and Boo said. If we aren't set up well or motivated, don't matter who plays. It's what I've always said. Stop touching buttons, dude. I've
been away for 5 minutes. He's been pressing buttons, and that's it. He's in.
No, for me, I would.
Oh, hang on, Mr. Miles, you're changing your mind. What's going on?
I like it. Unless is he changing?
We'll get to that.
Or is he just putting it in? Because anyway, we'll come back.
I'll unstar your first one then, Milesy.
I see. He has said different. I would. It literally doesn't matter. I get your opinion. What if my aunt had bollocks should be my uncle? It's one of them situations. He can pull a hammy. It's the same as I said about Mudryk. Mudryk signed for Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez signed for Chelsea for these huge sums on 8-year contracts, and he could go out in his first game and snap his leg, and his career's over. They've put all this money into these players, and bosh, in one game it's game over. So I see Ken's comment about putting out a mix and match. I'd actually just go and get it done, me personally. But again, that's me. I'm not.
Fair enough. Let's have a little look at your contributions, people. So Kent Hammers came in, said his team would be Areola, Johnson, Kehrer, Oggy, Cresswell, Downs, Lanzini, Fornal, Scamacca, Mubama, and Antonio. I'm guessing that's in a 4-3-3 formation. I'm guessing. So which one out of Scamacca and Mubama would be pulling wide, I wonder? What do you think, Duke? I mean, give Kent an opportunity to come in, but out of those two, or
possibly
is it Antonio
even a 4-3-2-1, Rob, or 4-3-1-2. with either Mubama or Antonio sitting in the hole behind the front two. If it's Antonio, it actually gives Antonio the option to pull left or right. And then as Skamaka and Mubama as the front two. Possibly. That's just my
Fair enough.
5 pence on that.
Before we get Claret and Booze's one, I have because
Did you get
I'm
yours?
involved in it.
Is it?
Well, no,
Did you get a wrong name on your ticket, Rob? Please.
I haven't got my ticket yet.
Oh shit!
I only bought it 2 days ago. In fairness, but I'm getting a little bit concerned. I've got to say.
It really does show just the immenseness of which our club is run. The fact that everyone's getting everyone else's tickets. It's just outstanding. It just is. Honestly, if it was happening to any other club, I'd be absolutely disgusted. The fact that it's happening to ours is just laughable. Right now, it's just laughable.
And I'm guessing it's you, Nick. So hello, good morning, and I'll be talking to you soon, obviously, about certain matters with Four Paws. 4-2-3-1. He's gone Areola in goal. Left back Cresswell. Right back will be Kufau. Johnson and Kehrer as the centre backs. Lanzini and down central midfield. Central attacking midfield for Nows. Left wing Skulls. I've heard he's injured, Nick. Cornet right wing and Skamaka as the striker. Milesy, he did pick Skulls as well. So you might want to reselect your left winger there, Nick, if you want to. But Milesy's gone. Areola, Johnson, Aguirre, Cresswell as a back three. Downs as a Downs right wing back. Hang on. Downs right wing back, or is that Coventry right wing back?
I think he's gone Downs right wing back by the looks of things. Coventry and Lanzini CM, Cornet left wing back, Benny number 10. So yeah, he's gone Downs.
Wow.
Downs right wing back. Andy, explain yourself.
Yeah, I'd be very
playing
interested
around
to know
with
your
positions.
Your thoughts there, Milesy. I wasn't expecting that. That's out of left field, as they say. But what do you think there, Duke?
Right field, that'd be Rob.
Excuse me, you're right.
Kent has come back with Skamaka in the hole.
Skamaka in the hole?
Sounds like a really bad Sweeney Todd version of Toad in the Hole. To be honest with you, I'm not quite sure I'd eat that. Darren, good evening from Bangkok.
Oh, he is. He is. Hope you're well there, Darren. Hope you are
Fair
well.
Play.
Always good. Nick's come in and said he'd put Emerson at left wing.
I like Andy's lineup. I am concerned about his thought of.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. Fair play.
I did sort of think, is he?
I weren't. Yeah, unless he's gone. Unless he means someone else. I don't know. Who else is there? Andy, you're losing the plot. Help me. He lost me when he said Downs at right wing back. Unless he knows something I don't.
Listen, it could be a tactical masterstroke. Who knows?
I mean, listen, we've had 4 Nows at right wing back for fuck's sake, or left wing back, one or two.
Yeah.
So it don't matter. He's trying to turn us into prime, elite Dutch side.
Every now and again, though, it works. I mean, I'm not being funny. Philip Lahm, where did he make his career? He made it at fullback, didn't he?
Yeah, right back, and then he ended his career at CDM.
Yeah, Pep put him there for Bayern.
Yeah, but listen,
brilliant.
When you're when you're that good, it's relatively easy to make.
Eamon, stop it! Stop it, Eamon! Stop it!
Yeah, it should be relatively easy to change positions like that. Do you know what I mean? So as far as I'm concerned, he should be able to do that. I'm not saying Downs is anywhere on the level of Philip Lahm. Can we clear that up straight away as well? Listen, I appreciate everyone's opinions in the chat. I think they're wrong. I think we should go full strength, but that's me. I love you all. You're wonderful people.
Nick's come back, says, Downs has played everywhere else. You have to factor in the Moyes square peg in every game. So, yeah, Downs anywhere but CDM.
What's Andy come with now? Hang on.
Here he comes.
I
He
can't
says he
multitask
can't.
and work. I put 4.5 CM with Lanzini and Downs. With Lanzini, Downs would be outstanding energy and can cross the ball right wing back. Fair play. I'll tell you what,
He's thinking outside the box, and I like that.
he's given a good account of his own opinion there, which if that, I can get on board with that. He's right when he says he's got great energy. I'll be honest, I haven't really paid much attention when we've had the ball out on the wings. I didn't think we could ever cross, so I've not seen it. I'll have to watch out for that just in case.
There you go. Right. Okay. So now we come to the point, Duke. We've obviously gone through key players. We've given people a brief sort of who AEK Larnaca are. Now we come to the point, and you guys in the live chat, please get involved. Score prediction for tomorrow against AEK Larnaca, Duke. What's going to happen? How's this unfolding?
Spanking. Absolute royal spanking. I'm actually going to go 5-0. 5-0. 3 in the first half, and the second half will just be one at a canter. I believe if my lineup is the one that's picked, which it will be because, it's just what I'm saying. I think you will see goals from Cornet, Scamacca, Bowen, and a header from Nathan Agard.
Okay. Interesting. I don't think it's going to be as comprehensive as that, sadly. As I say, I do wonder how much rotation that... And here's an interesting one for you, Duke. Yeah. And I know this is impossible for anyone to really sort of have a handle on except for one person, and that's David Moyes. But how much do you think that not just the defeat, but the manner of the defeat against Brighton affects the team that David Moyes will put out tomorrow? I'm not saying, not from your point of view, if you was picking the team, but from David Moyes' perspective, knowing what you know of David Moyes.
The team that Moyes picked and the way that they played on Saturday and the setup, it's all on him, Rob. I know people can moan about the players being out there. They're completely demoralised, as Luke says. They've been battered from every which way on Sunday. It's on Moyes. You could see that. Listen, Antonio stormed off with the ump, apparently, because whatever comments were made. Oh, he's got a foot injury. Piss off. He stormed off with the ump. Nolan and Moyes had a to do on the side of the pitch during the game. Declan Rice threw his bottle on the floor in disgust at comments made by David Moyes during an injury break or a substitution, whatever it was, when they were talking at the side of the pitch. Threw his bottle on the floor, turned his back on Moyes and was shaking his head. The players are absolutely disillusioned with David Moyes. There is no two ways about it. The fact that he refused, and he's just literally taken the words out of my mouth. It's the fact that he refuses to learn from his previous mistakes in his previous games that the players are losing fucking interest, Rob, in playing for this jerk. It's ridiculous. And as much as we can turn around and say the players have got to be doing better on the pitch, yeah, you're right. They do. What they need to be doing is saying enough's enough of the way he's telling us to play bullshit. The 11 that walk out onto that pitch need to have a plan amongst themselves and go, fuck what he's telling us to do. I'm going to go do. Right? Oh, you're there. That's just a cat. It's right. That, for me, is where we're at. These players should be going bollocks to it. I'm going to go do. And be done with it, right? Now, I personally think if I know what you've said about if you go into work and don't do what the manager tells you until you do it your way, then you're running the risk of disciplinary action and all the rest of it. Well, I get that, but you also then go, show us the cat. He's currently climbing up a cabinet.
That's typical of you to want to see a little pussy.
Stop it, sir. What's the matter with you? No, as far as I'm concerned, it's all on Moyes. He's the reason that the players are dejected. He's the reason we're playing poorly. He's the reason that the players can't express themselves. It's him.
But do you think that the manner of the defeat against Brighton, what I'm getting at is, do you think that the way that we were beaten against Brighton, Moyes might have had an 11 or formation in the back of his mind that he wanted to deploy against Larnaca? That match unfolds the way that it does down at the Amex, and do you think that that has any bearing? Does that sort of like change his thought process? Do you think, or do you?
Yeah, of course it does.
Of course
it does.
Go bollocks.
If you've got players like Declan Rice being can you not? If you've got Declan Rice being insubordinate, if you look at it that way, turning his back, shaking his head, disagreeing with the manager, yeah, I can see him not playing. If you look at the whole thing with Antonio and the way he was insubordinate, and if the rumours are to be believed, just walked out, then he won't be playing. Moyes will turn around and be a dick about it, because that's not being funny. He's been a dick so far by not listening to fans and players. He's going to carry on being a dick. Cat, seriously, you've now got yourself trapped in a box, haven't you? You absolute spoon. I'm actually going to leave you in the box. I don't care. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Fair enough. Right, let's have a look at. I've got some comments here that I've started as we've gone along with you guys in the live chat. And if there's anybody else that wants to get their score predictions in, please do. We've got a 5-0 win for West Ham, says Mr. Walsh. Nick says he's going 2-1 Larnaca. Oh, but he says he can't get past the body language from the team on Saturday, so it ties in with what we've just been talking about. Yeah. He thinks that Moyes has lost a handle on the team altogether and they've given up on him. Wow. 4-0, I'm guessing. It must be to West Ham because he's listed the scorers. Scamacca, Lanzini, Bowen, Benny, and Mubama off the bench. There you go.
I hate to say, Andy, he can't multitask, Rob. I think he meant to write 5.
We'll go 5-0. Let's say 5-0. Kent comes in, makes the point, and I said it earlier about it's a tight, compact stadium, only holds just a shade over 8,000 spectators. Poor pitch, tight ground. I remember people saying that we would spank the Danish team away. Was it Viborg and Silkeborg, wasn't it? The 2 Danish teams, and we were lucky to get a 2-0. But hard fought game. The players' attitude is key. If they think they get easy, they get hit on the chin. Yeah, exactly right. Not a million miles away from my score prediction, ladies and gentlemen, because I think that we win this game, but I don't think this is a straightforward match because probably, like I say, I think that he's going to make certain changes. This is not going to be his full strength 11, or probably about halfway there, maybe at best. I think we win this game, but I think we're made to work, and I can see it being AEK Larnaca 1, West Ham United 3. Just going to go through some other comments that we've had that have come in since. Kent says players should apply for professional pride as the very least. Yeah, I mean, you've got to have pride in your work, but how much pride, how much effort, Duke, would you put in to a manager that you didn't believe in? Professional pride or not?
Got fuck all to do with a manager, mate. As Kent says there, it's the badge and the name on the back of the shirt. You're doing yourself no favours. Again, Declan Rice is the prime example, Rob. If you want this big money move to this big name club, if you want to go to Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, Manchester United, playing Champions League, you want to captain your... Well, get out of the box then, dickhead. If you want to manage, if you want to captain your country at some point in your career, playing like you've been playing, isn't going to do you any favours. It'd be lucky to play for Fulham next year if they qualify for Europe. Right? That's where I'm at with Declan Rice. He's doing nothing there that makes me think he's acting like a captain or a future captain of England. You know what I mean? So,
is it because he knows he's off in the summer?
But to be honest with you, I don't think it matters whether he thinks he's off or if he knows he's off. He's playing like an absolute fuckwit. And he's, at the end of the day, if he values, let me put this to you, if he values the club in the way that he says he values the club, he loves the club, he thanks the club for giving him the opportunity when other clubs didn't. He loves the club in such a way. Do you reckon he would want to make sure that the club got as much money for him in a transfer fee as they could? Well, he's not acting like it right now, and he's certainly not playing like it, because right now he's gone from a £120 million player, which we all thought he was. I still do, because I still think he has that in the locker. We'll be lucky to get £70 million from him at the minute, Rob, the way he's playing and the way his attitude is. And that's it. So, for me, that's where I'm at. I think the players have to bear a big lump of the responsibility for playing for pride and playing for the badge, personal pride and the badge.
Well, just before we wrap it on the head, knock it on the head, or wrap it up.
Head.
I've mixed my metaphors there, people. I do apologise. Eamon's gone with a 2-0 win for West Ham. Mark's gone 0-1. I'm guessing that's 0-1 to as in home team, away team, or is it a defeat? Could you just come back and clarify that, mate? I'm guessing that's Larnaca 0, West Ham 1, but I could be wrong. It could be a 0-1 defeat for West Ham. Luke's gone a 1-1 draw. Mark's gone a Desmond, and Mandy says it's a 3-1 win for West Ham United. So, yeah. And Darren's come in 2-0 Irons. Most of the Larnaca players have been about a bit, but are in the twilight of their careers. Yep, absolutely. Nick's come in. He just makes his comment. It's not about pride and effort. If the environment you're working in is toxic, if the manager has lost the group and people are pissed off, bad things happen.
Yeah, but you still got to play for yourself, Nick. I see where you're coming from, and I fully understand your comment as well. But, the players have the ability to change things on the pitch. Whether or not they agree with what the manager's doing, they still have the ability on the pitch to change things. And if it means that they get they take a fine, they should be willing. You know what I mean? If you take a look at, I'm going to use Rems as a perfect example here, Rob. If you go against the rules and you take a fine, but you feel you're doing it for all the right reasons, then it makes it the right reason, right? So they're currently allowing their manager to continue managing their football club on a run currently of 18 unbeaten. I'd like to point out they pick up a £22,000 fine for every game that man manages, yeah? I'm going to do the maths here. That's cost them £396,000 as a football club, Rems, okay, for sticking to their beliefs. They believe that this manager should have the right to manage their football club, regardless of whether he's got the correct coaching badges or not. He can clearly do the job, right? Now, I'm not saying that just because someone can drive without a driving license, they should be allowed to drive without a driving license, okay? But he's proved he can do the job, and it wasn't his fault that his education for those badges or his testing for those badges were stopped in its tracks because of COVID and everything else, and they just haven't had the space to put him back onto the next level of coaching. But Rems are standing by their ideals. He's the man for us. Now, I'm only saying £396,000 is their fines. That's just the unbeaten run, Rob. That's not the the entire time. I'm not saying, Luke, that you can do it in the Prem. I'm saying the players themselves need to stand up and take some accountability, as James has just said there. The players have to stand up and go, you know what, David, you're wrong. Find me my wages. I'm doing it this way. In the same way that Rems...
But are they not two slightly different scenarios you're comparing? Because obviously in the case of West Ham, we're talking about players doing things that the manager wants them to do or not, as the case may be. Whereas you're talking about a club.
Rob. Concept is the same for me. You're going against what you're being told to do for the right reasons. That's what I'm saying here. So the players, David Moyes is telling them to do one thing, and the players are going out there and going, no, you're talking shit. You haven't got a fucking clue. We're doing it like this. Fine us. We don't care. Give me a fine. If I'm Declan Rice, right, earning a reported 110, whatever, and I'm going to be fined £30,000 because I didn't follow what my manager told me to do on the pitch, don't care. Here's the third. I'll tell you what, take this entire week's wages, because for the next 4 games, I'm going to fucking ignore you anyway. So take the entire week. I don't care. Yeah? That's my point on this. And if they get hooked and Sully still doesn't do nothing about it, then, well, it tells you everything about the club.
Fair enough. Right, okay, before we knock it on the head, we got 31 of you.
Sorry,
we got 21. That's all right. Don't worry about it. We got 21 likes. If you haven't done so already, could you please drop a like on the stream? It really does help the channel out tremendously. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe before you see yourself on the way out. Any final thoughts, Duke, before we make tracks?
No, I think I kind of put my point across there, to be honest. There you go. Did you see that from Kent? 836 grand, nearly £1 million, Rob. They've paid in fines.
Wow.
Rems, fucking madness.
Has he been there all season? He hasn't, has he?
I don't know, to be honest with you, but it's just crazy. If that's the case, it's madness. I love it.
Oh, and Andy's come in with his score prediction. 2-1. So, right. Okay. So that's us done. Yeah, I've asked you to like, subscribe and all that malarkey, so we can probably press the play button on the promotion for Iron supporting food banks, I'm guessing now, Duke, before we have it on our toes.
I think we can, Robert. I think we can. All right.
Well, any of you that are watching that are going out to Larnaca, stay safe. Hopefully I'll get my ticket for the match before the game kicks off. At the minute, I'm thinking anything could happen. I could probably get half. I've got to stop in Athens as well. Got a sort of couple of hours waiting around in an airport in Athens before I can then move on to Larnaca, and then I'm doing the same coming back. So, and I'm straight in, straight out. I'm not staying. I'm sort of just going in, game, come back. So, yeah. I sort of ummed and ahed about it, and like I say, in the end, I've just got bollocks. So, whatever. Yeah, it's money and it's time away, and
yeah. No, I fully understand that.
And all I would have been able to do, to be honest with you, would have been to have one day in Larnaca where I wasn't sort of like involved in the football or this, that, and the other. So it's no big deal. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, press the big red button, mate.
Forge from Iron is proud to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham United fans and friends inspired by the work of other football fan food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations from Newham Food Bank in Beckton, who supply 7 distribution centres in the borough, 7 days a week, and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. They are supported in their efforts by West Ham United Football Club, the WHU Foundation, LS185, London Legacy Development Corporation, Newham Council, the Met Police, Spire London East Hospital, Expedient Security, and a large number of West Ham and football fans. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page
You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thank you for your support. Come on, you Irons.